Hi, this is Dr. Melissa Shotell, also known as the Aligner Bee. And today I want to take a look at a case refinement and make a few small revisions to it. So I'm going to begin by playing through the setup. We can see that at the end of the setup, I have steps 15 and 16 that are overcorrection. However, I want to focus in on step 14, where I would be at the planned end of treatment without overcorrection. So when I'm looking at the lower arch, it looks like we have just a light contact between the lower central incisors that would be closed with the overcorrection. However, I'd like to make a little bit of a change before that step number 14 to see if we can avoid having to go into our overcorrection aligners. We can also see on the upper arch that we have a little bit of irregularity with the torque of some of the incisors and a slightly facial position of the upper left central. So let's go ahead and let's begin by making some movements in the doctor edits. So as we can see here, I've already made the adjustments to the upper teeth. They're very slight movements, but when I turn the doctor edits on and off, we can see that I move the upper left central slightly lingual, and that I improve the rotation of the upper left lateral. And when I click on the icon in the lower right for doctor edits, it will turn those edits on and off. So let's go ahead and make the changes that we need in the lower arch. I have already selected my doctor edits down here on the right side, so it's going to bring up my control panel on the left. I'm going to go ahead and select the lower incisor by double clicking, and we can see the arrows will pop up. I can use the arrow near the gingiva for root tip, and I can use the arrow near the incisal edge for crown tip. I can also use the other directional arrows in the direction that they are pointing. So I'm going to go ahead and give a little bit of distal root tip to this tooth. And then I'm going to go ahead and close that light contact on the mesial. This is a situation where sometimes it's a little easier to use the numeric values on the side, as you can achieve some of those smaller movements. So we can see that I've created a little bit of a collision, and that is just to create that nice tight contact. So I'm going to go ahead and double click to deselect the central, and now let's adjust the lateral. I'm going to double click, give a little bit of root tip, and then go ahead and close the space that I've created on the mesial. And then as I click the doctor edits on and off, we'll be able to see the changes that I created there. Let's add the upper arch back in where I'd already created the changes. When we turn these on and off, we can see those very slight movements of the teeth. However, these do make a big difference when we're finishing a case and working on that final alignment so that we can avoid another revision. For more tips and tricks on clear aligners, make sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Aligner Bee.